Lai Xiaojin, a prodigious talent, deeply loves his childhood friend Lin Fei. Unknown to him, this affection becomes his undoing. Fei, in conspiracy with another, betrays Lai Xiaojin to capture his potent bloodline. Adding to his troubles, his father confines him in a cage for 3 long years. In these dark times, a master appears and guides him in mastering formidable techniques. Emerging from his ordeal, Lai Xiaojin seeks vengeance, intent on summoning a spirit animal. To his surprise, the animal manifests as a pig, a comical twist, yet Lai Xiaojin accepts it, realizing that everyone has their off days. In the sunny Xufeng Citadel, a place beloved by locals, 3 people stand, casting their gazes towards Lai Xiaojin, engaging in speculation about his long imprisonment. One of them wonders aloud if he is still alive, while another dismissively comments that his grim situation is his own doing, a consequence of offending Miss Fei. As destiny would have it, Lai Xiaojin experiences a sudden resurgence of vitality upon realizing that he and his master had managed to journey through Zutian Wanji in just 3 years. He has made it back, but his body shows the severe effects of his ordeals, appearing more like a dead man than someone alive. For Lai Xiaojin, time is critical to restore his yuan ji and start his physical conditioning. During this challenging period, he remembers the Guangxianzong's Yuling Shenju, a technique that might help in his recovery and his quest for retribution. In the span of 3 years, the life of Lai Xiaojin has seen a remarkable transformation. Once a respected and honored individual, he has ascended to become the most distinguished young master of Xufeng Citadel, celebrated for his extraordinary Xilong bloodline that is acclaimed throughout the empire. His life, deeply intertwined with that of Lin Fei, the only daughter of the Liyang Citadel's master, has been marked by a profound bond since their youth, leading to an eventual engagement. Yet under this veneer of intimacy and trust, a web of deceit was being woven. Unknown to Lai Xiaojin, Lin Fei was harboring hidden agendas, skillfully engineering a betrayal in cahoots with the eldest son of Sai Tu Huangfu, Sai Tu Xui. This act of treachery was not just an emotional deception, but also involved the theft of Lai Xiaojin's highly coveted Xilong bloodline. Lai Xiaojin's troubles were further compounded when his father, influenced by the fear of Sai Tu Huangfu's power, disowned him. This act of family betrayal led to Lai Xiaojin being imprisoned in a cage and displayed at the Citadel Gate for 3 agonizing years. During this dark time, Lin Fei visited him, but it was not to offer comfort. Instead, she gloated over his misfortune, revealing how his downfall had inadvertently cleared her path to success, securing her a place at the esteemed Huangfu Academy through Sai Tu Xu's assistance. She mockingly suggested that Lai Xiaojin could have been her submissive dog. As time went by with the change of seasons, Lai Xiaojin continued to suffer in confinement, facing constant abuse and mockery from the public and his own family. His family's disposition towards him was not merely indifferent, it was filled with a wish for his end. However, Lai Xiaojin's destiny takes a turn when his master Yi Feeling arrives. She disconnects his body and soul, providing him an opportunity to train under her mentorship. They set out on an extensive journey through the vast realms of Zutian Wanji. This prolonged period of intensive training and exploration, which lasts for hundreds of years, blesses Lai Xiaojin with immense knowledge and experience, profoundly shaping his destiny. During the 3 years of his physical confinement in the cage at Xufeng Citadel, Lai Xiaojin, through his spiritual journey, masters an array of formidable techniques. He learns Zutian's 7 Mei Yi bloodlines, masters 12 types of Ji Yi Dingfeng skills, assimilates 36 sets of Gong Fei Ji Zhenhua Ji, acquires the 72 strongest miraculous skills, and comprehends 108 chaos methods. This extensive training transforms him into a force to be reckoned with. As night falls over Xufeng Citadel, a sinister plot unfolds. A group of men conspiring in the shadows discuss the fate of Lai Xiaojin. They consider him a mere obstacle in the path of their second young master's ascension to heirship. Resolved to eliminate him, they deem the task easy, assuming Lai Xiaojin to be weak and vulnerable. Armed with this misguided confidence, 2 of the conspirators approach Lai Xiaojin, intending to assassinate him. However, as they move to strike, they discover that Lai Xiaojin is far from helpless. Unfazed by their advance, he effortlessly deflects their attack with a mere gesture of his hand. The assailants are hurled away from the cage, their bodies crashing onto the cold floor of the citadel. The 2 assassins are utterly astounded when Lai Xiaojin, seemingly stripped of his Xilong bloodline, effortlessly counters their attack. This unexpected display of strength challenges their belief in his weakness. Meanwhile, Lai Xiaojin, unfazed, demands to know who sent them. As this unfolds, the earlier mentioned leader, believing he could take Lai Xiaojin by surprise, attempts a stealthy attack from behind. However, Lai Xiaojin, embodying the qualities of a true protagonist, reacts with lightning-fast reflexes. In an instant, he shatters the bones in the old man's arm, echoing the fate of the previous assailants. The old man is equally shocked by Lai Xiangxin's formidable power, especially in the absence of his Xilong bloodline. Lai Xiangxin, indifferent to the old man's astonishment and grievances, does not bother with explanations. With a singular, decisive punch, he ends the old man's life, his heart ceasing to beat. Witnessing this overpowering display, one of the assassins, driven by fear and realization, pleads for mercy. He divulges the mastermind behind the assassination plot, Lai Xiangxin's own brother, Lai Yang Miao. The motive is revealed to be the coveted entrance into Kingzhou Academy. The academy, conducting its entrance exam every 3 years, offers direct offers to the eldest sons of Citadel Masters. Lai Yang Miao, desperate to secure this opportunity for himself, conspires to eliminate Lai Xiangxin, standing in his path as the rightful eldest son. Struggling to comprehend his brother's betrayal, Lai Xiangxin pushes aside his shock and disbelief. He prioritizes his immediate need for healing, planning to seek refuge at Fujian Zhu's mansion. His thoughts momentarily shift to Xiaojin, a girl whose well-being concerns him, leaving him curious about her current state. With the dawn of a new day, Lai Xiangxin confronts the harsh reality of his physical condition. The years of suffering and confinement have taken a severe toll on his body. His organs are damaged, and even the powerful Yuling Shenju technique, known for its restorative capabilities, is unable to fully heal him. His recovery hinges on finding an exceedingly rare remedy, a task fraught with uncertainty and dependent on sheer luck. Despite these overwhelming challenges, Lai Xiangxin's resolve remains unshaken. His immediate goal is to enhance his strength, crucial for the daunting task that lies ahead. He is determined to unlock the mightiest bloodline of the Beast Clan, the Xulong bloodline. This pursuit is fueled by a desire for retribution against those who have wronged him, including his brother and others who have underestimated his capabilities. As Lai Xiangxin embarks on this quest, he is aware that chaos has yet to fully unfold. The emergence of the first Long Yin, known as the Zhuan Shu, marks the beginning of a new phase in his journey. As Lai Xiangxin prepares to unlock the Xulong bloodline, he is struck with awe at the sheer power of the technique. The illusion created in the process is so vivid and intense that it appears capable of tearing the very sky asunder. Despite his extensive travels and experiences with his master across Yutian Wanji, Lai Xiangxin has never encountered a real dragon god, a being of immense power and mystique in the lore he knows. The legends of the Dragon Clan are deeply ingrained in the history he has learned. According to these tales, the dragons once defied the gods, leading to their punishment and the mysterious disappearance of the immemorial master of the Dragon Clan. These stories have always fueled Lai Xiangxin's fascination and respect for the dragons and their lost ancient power. However, this moment of reverence and anticipation takes an unexpected turn. As the illusion dissipates and the smoke clears, what is revealed is not a majestic dragon or a fearsome creature of legend, but rather a pig. This revelation leaves Lai Xiangxin in utter disbelief. His and his master's arduous journey through Zhuqian Wanji, filled with hardship and strife, is undertaken with the goal of acquiring the formidable Xulong bloodline. The discovery that this mighty lineage is represented by a pig defies all his expectations and understanding. Lai Xiangxin is taken aback when the pig, which is supposed to embody the powerful Xulong bloodline, not only speaks in human language but also displays independent thought. This peculiar ability further confounds Lai Xiangxin, who has never encountered such a phenomenon. With a mix of skepticism and curiosity, Lai Xiangxin questions the pig about its true nature. He finds it hard to believe that this seemingly ordinary pig could be the manifestation of the esteemed Xulong bloodline. His doubts even lead him to suspect the legitimacy of the bloodline itself, contrasting it with the more well-known Xilong bloodline, and questioning the possibility of the Xulong spirit animal being a pig. In a revealing moment, the pig explains its current form is just a youthful, undeveloped version, implying it has not yet reached its full potential or true form. The pig then, quite unexpectedly, instructs Lai Xiangxin to find food, emphasizing its need for specific, rare items to aid its growth and development. These items include the Zhupin Qian Yuan Stone, a Millennium Hujin Lian, and a Unicorn Pill. These are not only exceedingly rare, but also highly sought after, often leading to fierce competition among those who seek them. Upon hearing this, the pig decides that acquiring a substantial quantity of Qian Yuan stones would be ideal. However, the Qian Yuan stone holds the distinction of being the most expensive training Yuan stone, cherished as a treasure by every cultivator. Yet this pig's request for a significant number of them raises eyebrows. Lai Xiangxin must already be feeling overwhelmed by these demands. Later, they arrive at Fujian Zhu's mansion. Following Lai Xiangxin's imprisonment in the cage, little sister Xiaojin finds herself confined within Fujian Zhu's mansion as well. Now that it has been 3 years since they last met, Xiaojin wonders how Xiaojin is doing. In addition to this, he reveals that he and Xiaojin aren't blood related. He saved the lady in a hunting accident and brought her back to Fujian Zoo. From then on, the two of them have been living together inside the mansion. At that time, when he was young, his mother passed away and his father grew cold toward him. But still, Xiaojin has made his life better. However, behind this happy facade, the two of them have been hiding a big secret about the lady's identity. Xiaojin is the emperor of the Dai Wu dynasty's only daughter. 8 years ago, the Dai Wu dynasty was in chaos and the royalties ran away in just one night. The Dai Wu dynasty collapsed and was divided into 10 Dai Huangfu that exists up to this day. In order to protect Xiaojin, they have never told anyone about this secret. After reminiscing about these old times, Xiaojin approaches the door and calls Xiaojin's name. At this moment, he starts to grow anxious when he sees that dust covers everything, which can indicate that no one has lived there for a long time. He fears that something bad might have happened to Xiaojin. His anxiousness grows into anger and he swears that he will kill every single person who has the guts to hurt his sister. At that moment, people come barging in. The man in front tells Xiaojin that he is there to catch him under Li Yang Mao's order. This man is the Li family's concubine disciple Li Bahu. He talks about how he did not expect that Xiaojin would visit Xiaojin for real. But Xiaojin disregards this and asks where his sister is. Li Bahu responds that he will have to bow before Li Yang Mao first. Enraged by these words, the conversation becomes heated when Xiaojin reminds him of how Xiaojin saved his life by finding the herbs that could cure his legs after falling from a cliff. However, Li Bahu is a thick-faced jerk. He claims that everything has changed and that everyone is selfish now. He tells Xiaojin that he has slashed 2 lines on Xiaojin's face before she was brought away. If not, his pure little sister would have been harassed by numerous men by now. While Xiaojin is cursing him out, Li Bahu laughs like a lunatic. Xiaojin can't believe how ungrateful this brat is and decides that today Li Bahu has to return those legs. Li Bahu doesn't back down and starts the fight, aiming to show Xiaojin his strength after not seeing each other for 3 straight years. His spirit animal appears behind his back is a bull covered in fire, looking like a demon. This isn't very surprising at all since his master is such a demon as well. He then begins to talk about how Xiaojin is now a useless person who has no bloodline beast spirit. He claims that he's not bullying Xin, but would only let his fireball play with him. But who says our protagonist doesn't have a beast spirit? At that moment, Mouse falls on the ground when he calls his dragon bloodline beast spirit. From there, it's revealed as Piggy. Horrendous laughter echoes in the place as Li Bahu and others laugh about how Xin disappeared for a whole day just to raise his stupid pig bloodline. They can't contain their laughter to the point that they are crying buckets about how they should not laugh, but they can't because it's a pig. Pig talks about how he was eating 10,000 years of blood spirit grass before Xiaojin summoned him. At that moment, Xiaojin decides to try Piggy's power. If the derived beast spirit is vulnerable to a blow, he better modify other bloodlines as soon as possible, just like his master. Piggy seems like he also doesn't like Li Bahu. He curses and accuses him of laughing like a pervert. Li Bahu cannot believe how he's being cursed by a pig. The two behind his back are as bewildered as he is. They talk about how he's scolded like he's being scolded by his mother. Li Bahu becomes annoyed and slaps one of them before commanding his fire-striped bull to take Piggy down. This guy is not just a lunatic and a pervert. He should be called an airhead as well. He demands Xiaojin not to die resisting his fire-striped bull's blow. He still wants to catch the man after all. Pig flies up from Xiaojin's head and begins to do his magic. If fire meets water, it will be extinguished. But if the fire meets his mate urine, it will be extinguished, and the smell will last forever. He may be just a pig, but when it comes to peeing, on a scale of 1 to 10, he's an 8. Li Bahu looks like he's seen a ghost at first, but after he collects his composure, his plans are revised. He also wants Xiaojin to be killed along with his rubbish pig. On the other hand, Xiaojin looks like the heavens have fallen on him. From the start, he already knew that Piggy was up to no good. Luckily, his strength is almost recovered. At this moment, Piggy has his mouth wide open as he feels the pleasure of releasing that much urine he's been holding onto all night. The fire-striped bull lets out a growl of pain before it hits the ground. Piggy reveals to Xiaojin that since the fire-striped bull drank his divine urine, it's estimated that he will be drunk for 3 days and 3 nights. He wants them to escape already and tells Xiaojin that he will not be participating in the next battle since he is still a baby with no strength. Although it's a bit weird and Piggy is a little bit nasty with that trick he pulled, Xiaojin admits that he is still good enough to defeat the fire-striped bull. He is cut off by his thoughts when Lei Bahu announces that they should all take Lai Xiangxin together already so that they can give him to the second prince. Li Bahu is confident that even Lai Xiangxin has lost all his cultivation and there is not much left of him. As Li Bahu attacks Lai Xiangxin, he uses his Kong Ku Dian Exu technique, and with a touch of his fingertips, Lai Xiangxin freezes Li Bahu on the spot. To take revenge for their master, the two charge at Lai Xiangxin, but he makes them freeze as well. Bullets of sweat start running down their faces as they ask Li Bahu what they should do. Having traveled across the Zutian Wanji, Lai Xiangxin has learned so many things, including the technique he just used, which belongs to one of the 72 strongest miraculous skills. He doesn't have to use too much as Ling Lai, yet he can still work his magic. Using the Xiokyu principle, he can block the Baomei He-Men and make them lose their strength. Lai Xiangxin knows that he will have to deal with a lot of stronger opponents later, so he can't use too much Ling Lai. However, this technique does not affect the cultivators with high cultivation planes. In addition to this, if Lai Xiangxin hurts his Jingmei, it will be difficult for him to reopen the blocked pulses. At this moment, Lai Xiangxin commands Li Bahu to reveal where Xiaojin is. Li Bahu disregards this and talks about how Lai Xiangxin is just Fujian Zhu's abandoned dog, and that he should not be daring to talk to him in that manner. Pissed by this response, Li Bahu receives numerous slaps on both of his cheeks until they turn tomatoes. Lai Xiangxin, on the other hand, shows no mercy as he assaults Li Bahu until the latter can't talk anymore because of how swollen his cheeks are. Since he can't speak, Lai Xiangxin tells him to write it down, but Li Bahu reasons out that he doesn't have a pen and paper, which only makes Lai Xiangxin angrier. He tells Li Bahu to use his blood since he has the guts to hurt Xiaojin. He must have the nerve to use his brain. Li Bahu then writes with his blood on the ground that Lai Yang Miao has brought Xiaojin to the King Zhou Academy to become his slave. Fueled by anger, Lai Xiangxin got to make this man pay for every single thing he has done to him and his sister. Li Bahu lies on the floor with his crippled legs and faces Lai Xiangxin's hatred. At that moment, the two from earlier beg Lai Xiangxin to spare their lives in return for giving him a piece of useful information. Lai Xiangxin seems to be interested in the offer. The two tell Li Xiangxin that today his father, the master of the Fujian Zhu, held a ceremony to appoint Lai Yang Miao as the heir of their clan. With Lai Xiangxin being expelled, Lai Yang Miao will become the owner of Xufeng Citadel in the future, so that he can gain admission to King Zhou Academy. Lai Xiangxin has heard about this before, and it is not enough to save these two. Even though he has already lost all respect for his father a long time ago, it still hurts him to hear about this. At that moment, one of the two introduces himself as Lai Yang Miao's servant and says that he heard him and the other discussing a hidden cave in the Kangking Mountain near the Fujian Zhu. According to this servant, his father has reported this to the Saitu Huangfu, and the latter seems to be so interested in this that he sent a lot of people to the place soon after the ceremony. There are even more people wanting to find that cave. Hearing the familiar name, Lai Xiangxin is brought back to how this Saitu Huangfu, Saitu Xui, and Lin Fei have tricked him into their trap. These two did him dirty, and yet they are living their best lives at King Zhou Academy. If Lai Yuanzhen is flattered Saitu Huangfu, then he will have to take something back in return. 3 years after his Shilong bloodline was taken away, his cultivation plane stopped developing. Even if he fully restores his cultivation plane, it will still be at Tai Mei Jing level 5. It can't be compared to the Tianjiao techniques that he saw on his trip across Zutian Wanji. Even though now that he has the Gong Feiji Zun to enhance his ability, he still needs a lot of resources to train well. This situation looks like after he has earned Qing Zhou Academy's Hu Tu Ling, he has to take the Kong King Mountain secret cave at all costs. He then pledges to himself that after finishing all of this and earning the Hu Tu Ling, he will immediately go to King Zhou to rescue Xiaojin. Meanwhile, on the street inside the carriage, Shou Huang's last disciple, Liu Yun, is inside together with her maid, Xiao Tao. Xiao Tao is a bit anxious as she wants her young miss to take a look at other things, even though she is a genius druggist. They are going to reach Fujian Zhu real soon, and she fears that Liu Yun will break through the Ju Pin Fan Ji inside the carriage and become a digi druggist. Liu Yun tells Xiao Tao to stop bothering her and adds that her druggist plane couldn't control it anymore. It's very difficult for a Fan Ji to become a digi. According to her, he needs to make a breakthrough because from ancient times, 99% of druggists have failed at this stage. She wants to make a difference. Xiao Tao pointed out the fact that Shu Huang is not there and that her young miss is just 16 years old. People her age can't even distinguish different types of herbs, but she's become a Fanji druggist. Once more, Liu Yun shut her up and responded that she might go wild without talking. Xiao Tao did not argue anymore and just wished for her young miss to succeed. While Lai Xiangshan was passing by, he noticed the carriage. Upon seeing the special type of Ling Lei, he already knew that someone was going to make a breakthrough. From his point of view, it looked like the person was going to turn from a Fanji to a Digji, breaking through in the middle of the street. It made Lai Xiangshan question if this person was in their right mind or if they were just trying to show off. At that moment, Liu Yiyun asked for help from Xiao Tao because she couldn't control it anymore. The walls of the carriage flew as well as the people at the place. Lai Xiangshan could not help but comment that the scene in front of him was interesting, given that it was a young lady, and that it is very difficult for a druggist to train at such a young age. Liu Yiyun, on the other hand, knew that things weren't looking good when she started coughing up blood. At this moment, I don't know what kind of entity possessed Lai Xiangshan, but he came running towards the ladies. Xiao Tao saw this and immediately used some magic to defend her young miss. She bravely pointed out how arrogant Lai Xiangshan is and that she will not hesitate to kill him if he does something silly again. On the other hand, Lai Xiangshan could not believe how a young lady like Xiao Tao could say things like that. Moreover, he is in doubt that she is just a maid given how extremely unpredictable her attack was. Even Lai Yuanzhen can't bring this type of feeling. It looks like she owns the dye cultivation plane. Xiao Tao asked him the reason for attacking her young miss. She demanded him to answer, and if not, she would have to punch him in the face. Lai Xiangshan defended himself by saying that he was trying to help the young miss. Xiao Tao seemed like she was not taking this at all. But when he pointed out how bad Liu Yiyun looked, Xiao Tao started shaking her young miss's body. She begs her not to die because she hasn't found her dream man yet. Immediately, Lai Xiangshan stopped Xiao Tao. The latter decided to leave things to Lai Xiangshan, but before that, he has to point out that she will cut his head off if he cannot treat the young miss, though she thinks Xiangshan's head is a tomato or something. He then asks her to support him because the young miss is in great danger. If she doesn't succeed, she will become disabled or die. When Lai Xiangshan got back, he brought the 12 types of Jie Yi Ding Feng skills along, and druggist is one of them. Although he hasn't reached the Yi Mei druggist yet, he understands the theory very well. Druggist training is different from others. In the end, a druggist still needs a Shu Ling Mei. Liu Yiyun was too rushed when she broke through the day druggist and she hadn't prepared enough. Her Shu Ling Mei was stuck. That's why he needed to unblock it first. To start, he placed the palm of his hand on her abdomen. Xiao Tao, however, seemed like she didn't like this idea, but her young miss liked it. Lai Xiangshan was annoyed, so Liu Yiyun told Xiao Tao not to insult the man. But it seems like Xiao Tao was born to argue. He accused Lai Xiangshan of harassing her young miss and called him a despicable man with a low cultivation plane. Piggy can be seen with his usual yawn. It seems like he is being annoyed by Xiao calling him a pig. In the 5 stages of grief, Pig is in the first stage, pause denial. Pig introduced himself as a Shenlong and called Xiao Tao the pig instead. Xiao Tao mocked Piggy by saying that if he is a dragon, then she's a phoenix. As a result of their bickering, her young mistress and Lai Xiangshan had their veins popping because of irritation. A few moments later, the two became successful with the procedure. Lai Xiangshan was convinced that this Liu Yiyun was stronger than he thought, given that her Shu Ling could even transform. Maybe her true identity is not as simple as her looks. Liu Yiyun had broken through the diet, and Xiao Tao praised her for being a genius, as back in the day, Xiao Han reached the plane when he was in his 30s, but her young miss did it at 16. Liu Yiyun gave her thanks and asked for Lai Xiangshan's name. Then she told the man that Shu Huang Yimei him and that if ever he needed some help, they would try their best to help. Lai Xiangshan humbly declined the offer and told her that it was because of her being a great druggist. Xiao Tao agreed since she knew that her young miss had trained day and night. However, she disagreed with Shu Huang Yimei owing a favor to Lai Xiangshan. Her young miss asked her to stop being unreasonable. She claimed that it may look easy, but she had just seen this technique from her master, and he could control a druggist Jing Mai family easily, and if she was right, Lai Xiangshan's ability was far better than hers. Lai Xiangshan humbly tells Liu Yiyun that he only knows a little theory about druggists. Upon hearing this, Liu Yiyun gives him the Shu Huang tablet to aid him and invites him to visit the palace if he has time. She then asks him to call her Yiyun and says that since she is a few years younger, she will call him Brother Shang. Xiao Tao observes that Lai Yun, normally proud and cold, puzzlingly refers to Shang as her brother. Wanting to avoid something she dislikes, Xiao Tao urges Yiyun to stop chatting so they can leave for the hair ceremony. This reminds Lai Xiangshan of something important. Yiyun inquires if he is also heading to Fujian Zoo, to which he responds affirmatively.